Well, on today's backyard makeover, we're actually going for a front yard makeover. Cindy Townsend is here, and Cindy, you've done a remarkable job assisting a homeowner with using perennials in the landscape. A lot of times we think perennials, oh, just a perennial bed. This whole place has been outfitted with them.
Oh my gosh, this was one of the most fun and exciting jobs we've done, because this is the reason we exist, for me, for TLC, because it's a balance. You've got your trees, your shrubs, your annuals, and your perennials. And the goal here was to get as much season. So the goal here was to get 3 seasons. So we've got our evergreens with the deodora, we've got some sabrooks following behind. Then we've got the calmness of the daylilies, which will give us color. And then we use some carpet roses, which are taking a break. You can't see them right now. But remember, I always talk about sun coleus, you know, to add that little bit of a kick where you need kick. We've got that in here. And then we've got long blooming perennials. So this is the start of what we've incorporated throughout this whole landscape. And I love it. I actually had so much fun putting it together.
Well, it's a huge property, so let's start over here at the corner and just kind of work our way around. And as you can see over here to the right, done a great job with some crepe myrtles that are just showing off beautifully.
Do you see how wonderful they work with the grasses? I love that feeling that they evoke.
Great combination. So you've taken some of the crepe myrtles over here with a weeping blue atlas, looks like.
Absolutely, yeah, we did. And we've also got some of the roses. These are carpet roses here, the pink carpet roses.
And they don't take much care. You just whack them back in the early spring and they're happy.
These people that own this house are very busy and have a busy lifestyle, so they need easy care, and they need things that will perform on their own, so they don't need to be babied. So again, we've got the evergreen in here. We've got a little bit of sedum, because the sedum acts like the sun coleus, where it gives color continually without any effort. And then of course the deodora, which always adds softness and color. And we've got it burned up so that it drains well. That's the key with the deodoras and the blue atlas and all of those. You need them burned up so they drain well.
You don't see elephant ears that much, but they really provide a big to-do.
They do. They add a sense of tropical effect. And this, look at the darkness. This is one of the black. Look how beautiful that is. So again, it's double duty. I mean, you've got the big foliage that's really beautiful, but then you've got more color in it than what you would think.
Well, it's kind of interesting in the way that you've combined both what I would call with the cedars with the tropical look. You don't often see that together, and it works really well.
You really don't even put those two together in the same sentence, it seems like, but they really have coexisted really well in this landscape, and I love it. And then look below, we've got the blue atlas cedar, and then we've got the tango agastache. And that puppy's going to go all the way through fall and just continually bloom. And then, of course, we balanced it with our evergreen, because we've got the moonshadow euonymus and then the annuals. So again, every segment of this garden is going to have the balance of evergreen with perennial, with annual, with color combination. So right next to the blue atlas, we've got the Concord barberry, and the Concord barberry is probably one of my favorites because it has so much depth of color. And again, it mimics the sun coleus. I mean, it does the same job that the sun coleus does as far as giving color to the garden without much work.
Looks great next to the roses as well.
Yes, it does.
And right below the roses, well, what is that, Cindy?
That's that Walkerslow catmint that we talk about a lot, or nepeta. It actually adds so much to the garden with the aroma and the flower color and that softness that's kind of silvery green. And then right next to it, we've got one of our sedums, and there's so many different colors of sedums and so many different ways that you can use them in the garden, and they bloom late summer into fall. So again, we've got 3 seasons of interest, which is really our goal with this garden. So past the magnolia, which looks very happy to be there, you've got some wonderful daylilies. Yeah, we do. We've got some repeat blooming daylilies. I'm not sure which variety the homeowner chose on this one, but it kind of looks like the purple stellas to me, which are repeat bloomers, and I'm sure that's what they used in this garden. And then right next to that, we've got the purple heart, which really looks great with that silver princess. And then we've got some perennials back there that aren't really cooperating, but it's not their turn to cooperate. We've got some veronicas, and then the salvias that bloom really well in the spring, and then they bloom really well in the fall. That's the Gregi. So again, this is a balance. You got evergreen, annuals, perennial. Yeah,
because there really will not be a season where this yard won't look great.
Right.
Because you've got the good bones to it.
And that was the complete intent. And then here we've got some Gora, and then behind that, the kaleidoscope abelia, and that's one of our #1 selling products. because it adds, again, so much to the garden. It's going to have this little white flowers showing up pretty soon. And when those little white flowers start blooming, they'll be in clusters on the stems, and it'll almost have a ferny look. And then our heucheras are getting more sun. We had talked about that. We really kept looking at the roof line right here. As they get established, you know, they'll probably be tougher with the amount of sun that they get. But this is what happens when your heucheras are getting too much sun, which I'm kind of glad, because now I could show you what you're looking for. Now, as these root systems get established, things will be fine. Southern Comfort's next to that, and again, we've got a nice evergreen. The endless summer hydrangeas in the back, and then if you look at the entryway, we've got all the annuals again saying, here's the entryway, and really drawing attention to that.
So then you've mimicked the evergreen over here, and I love the way that it's been trimmed up. It really does have a nice architecture feel to it.
You know, with all this casual and kind of romantic look over here with the grasses and the crepe myrtles and that softness, then again, you know, we talked about putting the cedars and combining that tropical look. Well, the boxwoods being trimmed like that are almost a formal look, but yet it works so perfectly in here with the knockout roses. And again, annuals, the vinca coming through here, and another blue atlas cedar to bring that blue on over and make the yard more cohesive.
I love this flower bed. This really does create a focal point in the yard, and it's anchored by a couple of nice crepe myrtles.
Well, the thing when we attacked this bed, the thought was, for one, you have curb appeal. So you've got to make sure this front end has a good continual color. And then we also had to step back and look from the doorway and from the windows of the house to see the back side of the bed so that the homeowner can also enjoy it and not worry so much about curb appeal. So, and it is a little bit further away, so we did that mass planting. You know, when we talk about doing things for the people that own the house, we go more onesies, you know, for that intimate, look at this, how beautiful it is. But then when you're talking about curb appeal, you go for mass. So that's why we've got the kaleidoscope in here and the nepeta. It's also good for mass. The sabric golds, again, and the crepe myrtles. And again, the daylilies take the place of a grass. So they give you color and yet softness at the same time.
Great job of combining good foundation plants with some wonderful perennials, Cindy.
Thank you.